today here. It is cold. We're going to try and get down the bank for you. So thanks for joining us for the Women's Elite Under 23 race coming up next. It's freezing in South Shields. Sleet driving into me now, as you can see. Sorry about the wind noise, there's nothing we can do. It's literally got up now since lunchtime. Probably blowing 40 miles an hour at the moment, the gusts. I am nearly falling off the hill here. In this one, we really don't know whether the existing champion Zancrease can do it, or will it be one of the others? Fionn Drake or many of the other girls, Anna Kay's riding, they're all here, they're all racing. I've got a feeling this could be possibly the exciting race of the afternoon. Yes, we've got the men's elite coming up later on, and we've got a stream for that, but this could be the exciting one. If you're enjoying these streams, please hit that subscribe, hit the like button, follow along. Also, on my Instagram, the Coeliac Cyclist, all of the interviews with the riders at the end of the race. They call their race for the new national champion in each age group. Follow along on Instagram as well, please see on there. We will battle out here and try and bring you the best footage we can. Obviously, we're streaming from one camera, so Ben will give you full commentary, let you know what's going on, and we'll do our very best for you in conditions. It's proper cold. I'm frozen now. Ben's frozen, but he's doing a great job. We've been supported. Ben's got his hat on. He's got his fast top hat. Good wheels. So that's keeping his head warm, keeping him going this afternoon. We've been fed up a bit, and hopefully the girls will get off to a start, or the women. And I believe past this race. We're going to head up the hill. Sorry if the audio goes a bit bad. This is the windiest part right at the top. When they're racing, I'm going to make sure I move down the hill so we're able to see. But any time now, these women will be off and starting their race. This should be an exciting one. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully the commentary and the live stream are good for you watching at home. It is freezing out here. We are ready to watch some fun action-packed racing. They come up this steep slope and they're going to come straight past us and head down the field. It is cold and these riders are going to be wrapped up in long legs. Here they come over the top of this hill. This is a fast start for these riders, looking like an early break of 4 riders at the top of this hill, with the 5th rider bridging in between. These riders do not want to be letting gaps go this early, but here we are at the front of this race. I mean, this is some fantastic riding. It is absolutely awful conditions. We did see Zancrease sitting second wheel there at the front of that group. Here we are, awesome riding from these ladies. These are horrendous conditions. As you can see, not a massive field out here in the national champs today. Some of the weather may be putting some of these riders off. However, coming down the hill a bit, we can see Zancrease in this leading quartet of 4 riders. As we come down the bank and out of the wind a bit, hopefully the audio will be getting a bit better for you. Zancrease sitting 4th wheel there on that Van Rysel bike. That is a hot pace that has gone off at the start there for these riders. That is a fast pace. They are going to head over into the other back field, and we will not see them as they head over there due to only being streaming on one camera. However, when they come back in after doing the sandpit in a few minutes time, we will have a stream of those riders. It is absolutely freezing. As you can see, if you saw the streams yesterday, the conditions are completely different. It is muddy, the top surface
where it was icy and wet yesterday has muddied up, and all that rain this morning that we have had has really made this course quite slippery and muddy. Earlier on, we had some riders on this off camber here rolling their tyres off. It's hard ground underneath. From speaking to some of the locals, they reckon this course drains really well. So the top surface being really muddy and slippy is causing back wheels to slip out, but the tyres, the mud tyres, are digging into that hard ground underneath, and I did see a good few tyres rolled off. This looks like it's going to be an exciting race. Those 4 riders up the front should be a close one, and you never know what is going to happen, especially in cyclocross in these sort of conditions where we have had a lot of offs. We've had mechanicals in different races that have switched up this race a lot. If you are enjoying the stream, don't forget to drop a subscribe to the channel. We will have the men's stream out there as well, and hopefully this stream is a good quality and the audio isn't too bad for you. If not, the stream will be available to watch afterwards on the channel, and it will be uploaded in the full quality that it is filmed at. YouTube just have to process that overnight, so don't forget to drop a subscribe and you'll be able to watch that back when you're on the turbo or you're training at any other time. As I said, those riders headed over into that other field. They'll be heading down into the velodrome that we've got here at South Shields, and they will come up and over that velodrome, which is a steep bank they've got to climb out of before they head into the sand. As you can see now, the pit's starting to fill up for these races. You've got people washing bikes, you've got plenty of pit crew in there. Everyone's come out. A lot more spectators, as you can see this afternoon, along the bank over there, which is nice to see. This morning, very empty, very bare for those junior races, unfortunately, but it was absolutely freezing. Very cold winds. Absolutely spectacular venue here we have though at the South Shields. It is brilliant for this cross. They've got twists, turns, off cambers. They've got the sand pit, which is, I'd say, roughly 100 metres long and very deep sand, which changes up the race. And these conditions, they are making a tough course out here today. But a lot of the riders this morning showing us their skills and how they can handle the technical sections. This morning we had a bit of an upset in the junior boys race with Milo Wills having a big mechanical. He had 2 mechanicals, ended up coming 11th, having to run his bike over the line, and we had another different winner win that race. We then we also then had the Peggy Knox win the junior female race in a dominant ride as she rode off the front of that field. It was a close one at points in that race, but once she stamped on it in those last couple of laps, she opened up a good 30-second gap and won that comfortably. That puts her in the jersey. Yesterday, we also had some other riders racing. We had a couple of Eastern riders who managed to win some jerseys. We had Theo Wan in the under-16 boys took home the jersey, as well as Elizabeth Wall from Colchester Rovers, who managed to take home the under-14 girls in probably the most impressive ride of the day I have seen. It was very impressive. She rode off the front of that group and rode her way, starting 30 seconds behind the under-16s in the under-14 race, as it's a combined race, and she rode her way all the way through to second overall and just under 30 seconds behind the winner of the under-16s. An absolute superb ride from the Eastern rider there, as potentially you can see in the distance. If I zoom it in here for you, I can see the riders moving over the top of that hill there. They're going to come back towards the way they have just gone away from, into the sand pit, into a block headwind. Now, a lot of the riders this morning complaining that headwind is making that sand pit hard, because it's so harsh, that headwind going into it. It's slowing the riders down and making the sand really boggy as they're riding through. So that will always change up the course. But in a few minutes' time, they'll head through that sand and they will come back past the pits on into this field, where we will get some good coverage for you as they are racing this exciting British National Cyclocross race. As we are waiting for these women to come through, if you're not subscribed to the channel already, hit that subscribe button. It's free. We're streaming this for you for free, and we are doing the best job we can. If you're enjoying this stream and want to see any of the other from yesterday or the men's race later and want to be notified when that comes live, hit that subscribe button. We're here in these biblical conditions watching this cyclocross race and bringing it to you live. As they now come around the corner after that sand pit, they're going to head alongside the pits any moment now. as they are about to enter this backfield here. It looks like the race is starting to come back together a bit. I think I can see 3 to 4 riders still off the front. We'll see who they are and see if I can get some names for you as they come through here. But these guys looking really strong already at the start of this race. That looks like a little break of 3 riders off the front here, followed by another 2. Zancrease, currently the current trying to defend British champion, is sitting in 5th at the moment on that Van Rysel bike she is riding. At the moment at the front though, we have got 3 riders. In second place sitting a Hup CC rider. Brilliant riding from these ladies. They're making this course look exceptionally easy. But this is a tough, challenging course. There is nothing easy about this at all, especially on these off-cambers. They're having to work hard to get over the off-cambers and not slide out. After that top 7 or 8 riders, there is a big gap back now. It's starting to gap out back to those other riders behind. All riders here though, I mean, hats off to them. I'm glad I'm not racing in these conditions. The weather is absolutely awful for this race. It is diabolical. It is cold, it is raining, and we have got 40-mile-an-hour gusts, and those women currently are going into the headwind, and it is bad, I tell you that. Whew, I can't feel my hands. It is cold, and we are still out here filming, and they are racing and doing a superb job. Absolutely brilliant. Nice to see all the spectators out here as well. Superb support with the cowbells and everything. Looks like now we're having 2 riders breaking off the front here, taking a charge in this early section of the race, as they're going to come over the top of this hill, and we're going to see them come down this off-camber section. Let's see how they handle this. It's getting slippy, it's getting slidey. We'll see how these riders are able to take this and whether they are able to handle the slippery conditions. A nice leg out from this front rider, taking a wide line. Both riders taking a different line here. Bottom line seems to be riding well. Good line from the bottom rider there. Both riders through safely though, in the lead of that. Riders sliding off the course all over the show here in the top 5. It is really slidey here on the course. It is so slidey, as you can see. Riders sliding towards me on the camera here, almost risking my life to get this footage for you. Here we are, real slidey, hanging the leg, definitely the best way for some of these riders, I believe. If you can take a wide entry and line into this and then hang a leg to get round that corner, that is looking like your best bet, but it is so slidey here. Riders sliding out all over the show, even on these full mud tyres, getting stuck in the tape. Some riders opting to run now. Almost might be faster and safer than coming down, having a crash and potentially risking a mechanical, as we have seeing, look, a lot of these riders now choosing to cycle or run around. Brutal conditions out here though. These cameras in the distance, people having to run these. It is absolutely churned to pieces on this top surface. Riders off and running as they're over in this field. Superb racing from these front ladies though. We do now have a break of 2 riders off the front. If I pan round over here, there are 2 riders off the front of this race, and one rider is actually riding herself off the front on her own, and she is doing a fabulous job at it as well. She is trying to break that set rider in the second place. She's not quite got away yet, but she is pushing hard. She is leaving nothing out there. It is an hour-long race, so we'll see how it pans out over the hour. You never know what happens. Last year, if anyone remembers, at Cyclocross, Kent Zancrease was a long way behind Kath Ferguson for the majority of the race and came back in that second half of the race. But at the moment, we have the 2 riders out the front. Will either of them opt to pit? No, neither rider at the front opting to pit. And now we have got a gap back to Zancrease, who is sitting currently in 4th, the defending British champion. And we have sitting behind another rider in 3rd place. So we've got 1st and 2nd with a big gap to 3rd and 4th now. We're looking at 15 seconds back. So those riders potentially in a bit of trouble if they don't up their pace soon. They are going to find themselves out of the race. We're going to try and move down and get some other shots for you as these riders are coming round. I'm going to head past the pits. They are doing a fantastic job out here today. All the riders in these conditions, it is absolutely brutal. The mud is picking up now. It is starting to stick to the bikes. Clumps of grass getting stuck in the rear derailleur, in your hanger. We will be seeing more pitting as this race goes on. It wouldn't surprise me if there was a couple of pits in the boys race from most of the riders, which always makes for exciting action racing around here. With the clogging up though, we have had a couple of pits. I can see some bikes being washed off in the pits. But we have got a good field out here today. As I'm going to head round, hopefully over the course if no one's coming off. And I'll make sure you're not in the rider's way as you're crossing the course. But it does look at the moment like those two riders off the front were establishing a good gap. We'll see as they come round and through to this field where we still have that gap, or whether that gap has been shut down between Zancrease and the other rider to the front leaders. As we have more riders coming through here. Absolutely fantastic result. Brilliant work from all the riders out here. A lot of media people out today. Much better commentated than yesterday. No one around yesterday. As we're going to move to the right hand side of the pits, where they are going to come past us again and head round and over the top.
Yeah, just down there. That's the next time.
As we head up here, good overview of the course here. So majority of the riders at the moment in the back section in the velodrome area there. They'll be riding on the off cambers, going over the steps, through the velodrome, back out of the velodrome, around some more switchbacks and then through that sandpit before they re-enter this section of the course. Now that sandpit is deep, it's hard, it's tough. Still be aware behind you, you're not on the off camber here. As you can see, people in the pits washing off. Some of the girls may have pitted already due to crashes, all sorts. If you can see there, that is Trevor, one of the local Eastern riders' dads, carrying water into the pits, ready for that men's race afterwards. There is not too much of a gap, and we will be live streaming that one also. So if you want to be notified when that goes live, drop a follow, drop a subscribe. As we can see, lots of spectators heading over to that sandpit. That is a popular area, and we'll see, will the riders opt to ride this sandpit this time? Other times they were opting in some of the other races. From the interviews we've done, some riders were saying that headwind was so strong into the sand that it was actually making the sandpit so hard and boggy to ride because they were entering so slowly, and that they were struggling to ride it, and running it was sometimes faster. But as you can see in the distance, we're just waiting for the riders to come back through to this field, and we'll get some more action in here before we head over towards that sandpit for the second half of the race to get some different shots and action for you. As you can see though, down in front of me, this is all very cut up in this course now. Very, very muddy and very cut up around here. Sliding, back wheels sliding. But as you can see under me, it's still looking a bit icy. The course, still some ice around from yesterday, where the course was icing up yesterday afternoon for the under 14 boys race, and there was a lot of sliding on some sheet ice around yesterday afternoon from the moisture on the grass. That is still around. It isn't really warm enough to melt that, but the stuff that's being ridden over does seem to be melted and does seem to be causing these ruts now. Definitely a tough one today. I'm sure you'd be glad to be sitting on the sofa at home. It is cold out here today. Gusts of 40 miles an hour. It feels colder than yesterday. Lots of the riders wrapped up warm, opting for the long sleeve jerseys and bibs. Here we have one rider alone now as they come into this section of the course. We have a leader on their own coming past the pits here. A small gap, probably 5 seconds or so, but they have pulled out a gap to second place, which I believe is Anna Kay potentially riding there. As they come along, they straight past the pits. Neither of the front riders opting to change yet. We'll see if we can get a close shot of those bikes as they come past, see if they're clogging, see how much they're clogging up. But here we are as they come past, making this climb look easy here. Real smooth there from the Spectra Racing rider, as followed by who I believe is Anna Kay, a former British cyclocross champion, as she comes round. On that van rise, that is starting to pick up now, but shedding quite well, especially round that rear wheel. And here we have another Spectre Racing, followed by Zan Kreese, the defending champion, as she comes round, glued to that wheel, and that gap isn't going out substantially, but there is probably a good 25 to 30 seconds between her and the leader now. She needs to start closing that in soon. Otherwise, she could find herself in trouble if she's trying to defend that champion's jersey. The lead rider now coming round onto this off camber as they're going to head round and right round the top. Now this, to me, is probably one of the trickiest sections for grip. All these riders will be riding full mud tyres now at this point of the day. Yesterday and earlier on, it didn't matter what you're riding, a lot more intermediate tyres being ridden because the only slipping places were ice, and you can't really grip on a mud on ice. So a lot of riders opting for an intermediate, but here comes the leader pass, looking very strong. Good gap now to Anna Kay in second, but these two riders, Zan Kreese and the other Spectre Racing rider, closing up to Zan Kreese in second now. That gap is tumbling rapidly to Anna Kay. Absolutely superb work here from all the riders. They're looking super strong. Zan Kreese always good at her pacing. Don't go off too hard, but can keep a strong pace, as we saw last year in Kent at the Cyclo Park. We have all the riders here. Yes, we are second lap in. A rider down there, unfortunately. It is so slippy here. There is nothing you can do if you lose that front wheel. People will be running low pressures, but the tough bumpy ground underneath is meaning that pressure, it does need to be slightly higher than they would like. But we are on the second lap now. First full lap of the race though, however, because they do a smaller loop first, followed by a bigger second lap as the riders are coming round now. See riders powering through this mud, rear wheel slipping and sliding all over the place. Nothing you can do about that. Still a strong field back here though, all riders pushing on, making the technical sections look easy as they fly around these. If you missed the racing action from yesterday, you can check those out on the YouTube channel. We live stream all of the races from yesterday as well. See if you can see your fellow riders from your regions. See if they won any of the jerseys. Had some good races. Give them a spot in between after the men's race after this. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. You'll get a notification when that men's race goes live. We'll be live streaming on here as well. As you can see, these women are really struggling here with their back wheels sliding. Big power having to be put down, wheels sliding out. It is so tough out here in these conditions, and there is nothing these riders can do other than get off and on or pick a different line. Some riders being able to ride this really confidently. Riders sliding out all over the place. Going to try and move around for you, see if I can get some better footage in different areas of the course. Try and get over into that velodrome section for the sand pit and to have a look at that. You've got spectators and riders sliding all over the show. This is going to make for a messy men's race around here, sliding all over the show now. This is really cutting up for these women. Locking out the brakes and just skidding down in the mud. As we're going to walk, I'm going to head over to the velodrome bit Alright, well I'll get over here then. Here we have a change in the thing. Anna Kay must have had an issue there, dropped back a long way through the field there. Not sure if she had an off. Looks like she has dropped a long way back through the field. Didn't go in for a bike, so not sure what happened, but she has dropped a long way back from 2nd place all the way back to 6th place.
You said Anna Kay looks very roach.
Is it?
It's very roachy.
It is now, but it wasn't, I don't think.
But Anna Kay was way back. I'll go now.
As we head more towards the middle of the course now, trying some different action. We've got riders off and running, mechanicals everywhere. That is the problem with this mud. Once it sticks in and gets in between those gears, especially in that sand section, it grinds and pulls it off your jockey wheels, and that's where people are having issues, I believe, in these bikes. The pits are getting fuller now. You can see parents and pit crew washing off bikes in the pits there, as we have all the action here. We spin back to the females racing here. They're doing a fantastic job. Zancrease is not leading at the moment. Zancrease was sat in about 3rd place at the moment, gapped by the lead rider. The lead rider was on her own, however, standings might have changed when they come round for the next lap. But Zancrease currently chasing as she was last year when Kat Ferguson took it out hard at the start, followed by Imogen Wolf. Zancrease was on the back foot almost, but very good with her pacing and came through to take that win last year. Perhaps we'll see the same again this year from her. Better pacing. You never know how hard riders are on. It's always a tough one to pace, especially in these slippy conditions where mistakes and people can come under pressure. How that will weigh up and affect the results. We've already seen a couple of mechanicals even this morning in those junior boys races, so hopefully we won't have any of those, but that can always affect racing. As we see riders still run towards the pits. As we can see, pit crew running around, making sure their bikes are ready for the riders to come back round on the opposite side of the pits. It's always tough at champs like this. You need to have all the equipment, all the team, all the crew, and the pit crews today are doing a fantastic job of keeping those bikes clean, making them rideable and making them good for the riders. We've got a couple of riders here going in for pits, reasonably close together. Starting to really pick up some of the bikes now. The mud really starting to collect around that rear wheel, and that's when riders will be opting to pit. And this is getting really chilled up now. The grass that was there and still able to be ridden. It is struggling now and not there to ride, as we are almost halfway through this women's race. The commentary and the video is good for you today. We are running on only a 5G signal, so if the stream buffers or is addressed by YouTube, and it will be able, you will be able to watch that in the full quality it's been filmed at. Gonna try and cross the course. Try and cross the course now and head over into the velodrome area, where hopefully it'll be a bit less windy as we're a bit more sheltered and a slight bit lower down for the commentary. Thank you. Thank you. As we can see, plenty of spectators now down this arena. Lovely to see the support for all the riders out here now. As we head down and over towards the off-camber section in the velodrome towards the steps. Today, which is really good to see considering the weather conditions. It is disgusting, this weather out here today. It is cold, it is wet, and these riders will be feeling it in these conditions. As we can see, riders coming down that finishing straight, heading past the finish line. As the lead riders have just gone through the sandpit, we will see them come around and onto this off camber very shortly, as we see some of the riders further back in the field showing off their skills, having to run these off cambers now. They are unrideable, the majority of these. In contrast to yesterday, it's icy, but during the middle of the day, very rideable, very solid, not very slippy. The weather today has turned for the worst and is a lot wetter. When the first three positions come back around past us now, I'll read out the numbers for you and get the positions for the first three riders. They have just headed over into the backfield. Sorry about the wind affecting the commentary. It is hard. We have riders coming round here, taking wider lines, still looking for that grass, but there is getting less and less of it. And by that men's race, we're going to see very, very minimal amount of grass left on the track, as we have riders showing off their skills and looking for that grass, trying to ride that off camber, but really struggling now. Definitely faster to run. If you get stuck halfway up on an off camber, that's when you can lose a lot of time. You have to commit to whether you're going to run it or whether you're going to ride it. A lot of these women are choosing to run that bank now. As we wait patiently for the riders to come around the course, they'll head back into this velodrome section of the course. As we look out, plenty of spectators around this afternoon, which is good to see, especially over by the sand pit. We've got plenty of spectators out considering the weather. Very good turnout, I would say, as the riders are heading over towards this. Will we still see that singular rider out the lead from Spectre Racing? I'll let you know and try and get some numbers out to you as they come past. The leaders will shortly be heading back into this field though, as they will be coming across the pits. See, they're a great venue here we have with the velodrome track. As we still have the later riders in the race who are further back riding round. I'm not sure if they are lapping out here today. They did mention that they weren't going to be using the 80% rule due to weather conditions and lack of numbers in the field. Whether they have stuck to that or not, I'm not sure. So I'm not actually sure whether riders are being lapped out today or not. I can see some of the leading riders coming around now. You can see Zancrease off in the distance, just on the other side of the fence. All riders are still looking strong here. As they come round, I'll get some numbers to you, see if I can get their names and teams. But we do still have a leader from Spectre Racing, who is now heading into this field, number 11, in the lead of this race. She is out on her own now and has built up quite a substantial lead over the rest of the field here. Number 11 here, just come into camera view, has a good 15 to 20 second lead over the rest of the field and is pulling away from the rider from Spectre Racing. And here we come. On the corner, rider number 11 from Spectre Racing. Absolutely brilliant skills. As she heads down the bank, will she opt to run it? Or will she try and ride it? She will opt to run it. All of these front runners opting to run that bank as it is so steep. We are just over halfway through. Looking like we've got another Spectre Racing rider with Zancrease tailing just behind. Second place though, we've got number 9, a Hup CC rider, pushing on strongly, really pushing through now. Followed by another Spectre Racing rider, looks like number 5, and Zancrease in 4th, number 1. At the moment is your top 4. Here comes this Hup rider, number 9, riding really strong on those Hup bikes. Looking very strong here, taking a nice wide line on the grass. His grip in cross, and here we have number 5 in 3rd place, followed by Zancrease, number 1, trying to defend her title, but at the moment it is slipping away from her. As more riders coming along the top here, in 5th place we have number 6. Place we've got number 10. Here we have Zoe Rose. She does appear to have dropped back a long way. She was in 2nd place at one time, has dropped back a long way. Number 2 on her back today, but she's still riding a strong race. Not sure whether she had a mechanical or a puncture. She is moving herself back up through the field. Kay now coming through in 8th place, number 4. She is quite a way down through the field. She was further up earlier on, but does seem to have dropped off a long way. And here comes Anna Kay down the corner. Big support for Anna Kay out on the course here.
And I'm not going first.
Oh, close there. As we move over towards the steps here to get a good view of these riders racing. Someone has put in the comments that number 11 leading the race is Anna Flynn from Spectre Racing. So Anna Flynn currently leading this elite women's British National Cyclocross Championship race, as we have more riders here coming through, still riding strong, showing their skills, running these off camber sections, jumping back on, up and down the steps, looking for all the grip they can, but there is minimal grip here today. As you can see, minimal amount of grass at the bottom, just looking for grip anywhere they can as they run up the steps, and riders are coming through onto the finish line. That's Anna Kay riding through towards the finishing line, along the finishing straight. So Anna Flynn currently leading that race with a good 20 to 30 second gap over the rest of the riders in the race. As we can see, a good amount of support out here now. Getting ready for the men's race, but we have got a lot of supporters with the cowbells. Trying to shelter down from the wind now to get some slightly better commentary. We have riders heading up the steps. We are now almost 40 minutes into this race, which means we have 20 minutes to go. Looking like they have 2 laps to go. Someone has just put a comment on. Alvarado has just become the Netherlands champion, followed by Puck Peterson in second and Lucinda Brand in third. Thank you very much for that. That is an interesting result from Lucinda Brand. Wonder if anything has happened. But however, looking now like there is a rider scooting. That is a long way to go for the pits for her. That is a shame if she can't get that chain back on. That is a long way to get to the pits. And the leaders have had their 2 laps to go, so when they come through, they will be receiving a bell. We'll head over to the sand pit for that last lap for them, get them through the sand, see who's riding it, see who's not. As all the riders, you can see, it's getting a lot of water on that finishing straight now. Looking like the majority of riders still on the original bike they started by. Not looking like a lot of riders are pitting onto different bikes. Doesn't seem to be collecting and picking up too much, which is always good. However, some of the bikes starting to look more clogged up than others. A lot of the riders here looking like they might have come down once or twice. It is very slippery conditions out here, but they're doing a fantastic job, all of these women. For the rider to come back through and take the bell on the next lap. We have got all 4 races being live streamed today on the channel. The 2 this morning, the junior male and female races were through. If you want to go and watch them later, they are up on the channel. And if you want to be notified when the men's race goes live, don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, you'll be notified. It is free. We're bringing this commentary and this stream to you for free. A superb riding from these riders here. It is cold out here today. It is 5 degrees today, warmer than yesterday, but it feels like 0 on the weather app. We have also had rain the majority of the day, and 40-mile-an-hour gust of wind this afternoon. It is making a real tough ride for the riders into that sand pit and making it really cold. Once you're wet and the wind is blowing on you, especially in those gusts, it can get cold fast. Speaking to some of the riders after the races that have already been and happened, they were very cold and all in long arms and long legs and still complaining about the cold and how cold they were getting when racing. Felipe Orts has been crowned the 8-time champion for Spain. And that is pretty phenomenal for him. Not a lot of Spanish riders in the elite field as far as I know though, but he is very, very fast. Not had the best season on the world scene as far as I have seen this season. However, still an incredibly fast rider, as we see more of the female riders here at British Cyclocross National Champs getting off running steps as we wait for the leaders to come through. See Anna Flynn leading this elite female race currently. followed closely by Zan Crease and another Hup racing rider. As we patiently await, shouldn't be long now before they head through and into this field. As Flynn is now heading through, you can see her up the top, coming past lapped riders now, lapping riders. As she heads through, she is absolutely flying past, and she has opened up a big gap behind her now. No more riders in sight. The Spectre Racing rider, she is fantastic work from Anna Flynn here. She has really opened up a gap for herself and given herself the best chance going into this final lap. This is a gap she's opened up. Now we're looking over 30 seconds to the next rider behind. Oh, we're buffering now. Oh, it's alright. It's earlier. We have to move and get the picks. Potentially. So shut up, dude, I can see you. Yeah. Buffering again, we've stopped buffering. Oh, we are back live. We are back live. As that comes through, the Spectre behind her, the defending champion in third place. She's still chasing for my space. It looks like that lead rider now, who is coming, drops down to take the belt for the last lap, is coming through the line. Anna Kay, last time I saw on this lap, was down in 7th place, so all the way down in the field, despite a good start. As she has taken the belt, 1 lap to go to come through. She has got a substantial gap heading into that last lap. Well over 30 seconds to the next rider now, who's about to drop down into this velodrome we have here. And here we go, dropping down into the velodrome. We have the 2nd place rider, the Hup rider, number 9. Dropping down into the velodrome, but Anna Flynn leading by a long way now from this 2nd place rider. Superb riding still coming through. As Zang is now dropping down the defending British champion along the finishing straight. Drones get clipped in, potentially due to this having to get to run this back.